into your Daily Buckeye Blitz. Late. Sorry. Somebody takes away your internet access. What can you do? Yeah. So high-speed connection is the only way I can do this show. Can't do it with a hotspot. But thanks for asking. As always, I appreciate you joining me. Is anybody watching the golf? I've been watching the golf since my cable just came back up. It's a pretty good little tournament over there in Charlotte. You got Xander Souffle, let's call him. Xander Schauffele. Looks like he's pissing down his leg here. Rory's within one shot. And you got a bunch of goofballs behind him. But looks like Rory might run down Souffle here on moving day, Saturday. So, but you didn't come here for that shit. Please visit thebuckeyecast.com and a new feature I just added to the YouTube channel. Now we are loading in the store, all our t-shirt designs, hat designs. Hell, I even threw in some water bottle designs. All the top sellers are going to be right here below the videos. So check out down there, and you can buy it right through YouTube. So check it out. If you're interested, get yourself a t-shirt for summertime or whatever. Get a hat. You need some shade. This goddamn sun will put blisters on you. Trust me, I know. But all right, hope you guys are having a good weekend, by the way, even though it's getting started a little late here. All right, let's do it. We're doing our post-spring position group breakdown. Today, we're talking cornerbacks. Yes, OG Walt's group. These guys loaded with talent, young talent, old talent, loaded. But like most position groups for the Buckeyes this year, it's kind of top heavy, right? You got your three guys at the top with a ton of experience, then nothing in the middle. You got a couple guys with a little bit of experience, and then you got no experience below that. So let's get into it here. We're going to talk snap counts, PFF grades, whole nine yards. Here we go. Depth chart looks like this. Denzel Burke, your senior. IGB, Davison Igbinosun, the junior. Jermaine Mathews, he is a sophomore. Calvin Simpson-Hunt, CSH, as we call him here, redshirt freshman, but second-year guy. Aaron West, freshman. Aaron Scott, Bryce West. I know I did that shit when they were going through the recruiting process. I kept calling him Aaron West. Aaron Scott, Bryce West, true freshman. Now at the nickel, we're counting the nickel position here with the corners because it's mostly a corner body that they're using, like Jordan Hancock, recruited as a corner. He's a senior also. Then you got Jermaine Mathews behind him. So Jermaine Mathews, we'll get into him, what he's been doing this spring and what the future looks like. So outside corner and slot corner, Jermaine Mathews is factoring in there. Then you got Lorenzo Styles Jr. He's a redshirt junior. So a fourth-year guy. And Miles Lockhart, true freshman, coming in this 24 class. So looking at the snap counts here before we get rolling into the whole breakdown. Snap counts from last year, IGB led the way for the corners, 769. That's virtually every defensive snap possible. Then Jordan Hancock, 616, and Denzel Burke, 579. He had 2 games he did not play. Maybe load management, maybe injury, who knows. But Jermaine Mathews almost got 200 snaps. That's legit for a true freshman. Then you got Calvin Simpson-Hunt, just 23, didn't play most of the season, had a few games of special teams as well. Lorenzo Styles Jr., some special teams here and there, but mostly did not play. Again, we'll get into his move and stuff like that coming over from Notre Dame as a receiver. So those are the breakdowns. Coverage grades. You'd be surprised. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. Jermaine Mathews actually led the team in coverage grade, 88.5. He was targeted 17 times, only allowed 4 receptions. That's a 23.5 percentage. That's outstanding. He only allowed 34 yards. Did have the pick six, if you remember. That'll help your coverage grade greatly. So Denzel Burke came in second, 81.7. Again, that's outstanding. Burke was targeted 48 times, allowed 25 catches, a 52% completion percentage. Only allowed one touchdown, I believe. Yeah. So we'll take that all day long. Jordan Hancock, a 74.8. That's really good. And IGB, a 68.1. He was targeted 36 times, or 71 times, allowed 36 catches for 50%. Hancock was 25 catches on 45 attempts. Penalties were the one thing that IGB, I think, had an issue with. Where the fuck are the penalties? Yeah, there they are. Yeah, IGB had 6 penalties on the season. Obviously led the team, led the secondary anyway. Denzel Burke had 2. Hancock had 2. I can deal with 2. I can't have 6. That's way too much in a season. So all in all, excellent coverage grade. These guys are exactly what you want. IGB needs to pick it up, obviously, tighten up without, getting handsy. So, an overview on the position right now. All the starting corners returned from last year. Denzel Burke, Davison Igbinosun, the nickel, Jordan Hancock. All 3 are veterans with multiple years of experience as starters. There's young depth in Jermaine Mathews Jr., Calvin Simpson-Hunt, plus 3 highly touted freshmen. You got Aaron Scott, Bryce West, Miles Lockhart, and then Lorenzo Styles mixes in at the nickel, adds some depth there. So the expectations going into spring were veterans like Denzel, Davison Igbinosun, and Jordan Hancock would get limited reps. Then the spring would give the young corners a lot of reps and action against the Buckeyes loaded wide receiver group, right? Iron sharpens iron, as they say. Lorenzo Styles Jr. would continue his process of getting comfortable at corner again, as he was a corner and receiver in high school. So coming out of spring, the Ohio State corners had a back and forth battle with the receivers. We saw it play out on social media quite a bit. A lot of Jeremiah Smith catches over top of multiple DBs. Then you got Jermaine Mathews spent time at nickel and outside corner to add some depth. Calvin Simpson-Hunt showed he can get snaps this season in games. Lorenzo Styles Jr. performed well before he had to leave spring camp to have a minor procedure done. Then the freshmen, Aaron Scott, Miles Lockhart, they got reps this spring. Saw Aaron Scott looked pretty good in the spring game. Bryce West was held out with a little bit of an injury, but we'll see what he has in fall camp. Surprises. The surprise might be, I would say, Jermaine Mathews getting reps at nickel. We didn't really see that coming. He's considered the 3rd corner in this defense, so he's your next man in if somebody comes out. He had a very strong freshman year last year at the outside corner, but with him at nickel this spring, it shows the faith that the coaches have in him, and the coaches want to get him more experience, make him a well-rounded corner. And that tells us how valuable Jermaine Mathews is and the expectations Ohio State has for him this coming season. It also shows the great progress he's made since last season. So he only played the outside corner last year, did not play the slot at all. The question I have is, how much will Jermaine Mathews play, in 2024? He would be a starter any other year. If Denzel, IGB, and Hancock had not come back, if any of the 3 had not come back, Jermaine Mathews would be in there. So this is a really deep group. Will there be a rotation that includes Jermaine Mathews? The coaches talked all spring about the need for depth, playing more guys this season with the long 16-game playoff, But Jim Knowles, Tim Walton have faith in Mathews. Will they show it during the season when the games are still on the line? Will they plug Mathews in there is the question. So going forward, the young corners, they got a bunch of experience in the spring, which is awesome. They can look at the film, assess the good and the bad. And this was the first spring for Calvin Simpson-Hunt. Remember, he came in last summer. He enrolled last June, and this was the most action he's seen as a Buckeye so far. So same for Lorenzo Styles Jr., who came in last summer and was a wide receiver. He was good in the spring till his injury. He's got the good size, length, speed, burst, and he played receiver, so he knows how to defend against receivers, right? The minor concern I have is how young the cornerback depth is. They have experience with the top three, right? Burke, Igbinosun, and Hancock, but everybody else on the roster is in their first or second year. You know, like I said, it's top heavy. But even Lorenzo Styles Jr. is in his fourth year, but only his second year at defensive back. So we're probably going to lose Denzel, Igbinosun, Hancock, all three starters after this year. So ideally, you would like to replace them with guys who have experience. There will be opportunities to play the young guys this year, and it's on the coaches to get them in the game. I feel like all these position breakdowns, I have to finish it with, it's up to the coaches to get them in the game, handle the blowouts properly. So, and here's a good quote from Jermaine Mathews Jr. on getting reps at the nickel this spring. Quote, "Yeah, I've been in the nickel a lot this spring. I've been going back and forth, so it's been a new transition for me, but it's really not that new. I played some nickel in high school. I really didn't play that much last year because I was trying to get into the groove of college football, but I'm back to it." So that's the guy that stands out for me, Jermaine Mathews Jr. How often do they get him in the rotation? How often do they get him on the field? So watch for number 24 for the Buckeyes on defense. So again, please visit thebuckeyecast.com and check out the shop right below this video. If you're listening on podcast, you know what to do. Hit thebuckeyecast.com. The shop is always open. Video Vault is always up and running. So check it out. And if you guys have any topic suggestions, things you would like to hear about over the summer when things are kind of, quiet, really, hit me up. Call, text, email, write me, carrier pigeon, whatever works. I'll talk to you later. Go Bucks.